episode 9 of Spinning Dreams. My name is Laura, and this is where I talk about all the things I'm knitting and sewing and the gardening that I'm up to. So grab something warm or cold, depending on where you are, and I'll get started. So first, let me talk about what I'm wearing. This I knit a couple years ago, I think, and it's the No Frills sweater by Petite Knit, one of my favorite knitting pattern designers. And it's a very simple raglan construction, and it's knit from the top down, and it's wool held with silk mohair, like a lot of the designs are these days. And I'll try and show you, I don't know if standing up will work, but I'll try and show you just the style of it. It's very simple, just straight. And you can kind of see the halo of the mohair. And it called for waist shaping, but I didn't do it in the end. And it turns out that was lucky because I actually wore it all through my pregnancy, and I think that contributed to my success in wearing it. So yeah, I love it. It's a great all-around sweater. It's very, I think, beginner friendly. It doesn't require any fancy construction techniques. It's just very basic, but it's a really good standard jumper for your wardrobe, so I would highly recommend it. I love it. The wool that I used is Drops. I used their fingering weight wool paired with the silk merino, and the wool, the fingering wool, was kind of a cream base, and then the mohair was like a light dusty rose color. And so it made, I don't know what color you'd call it, but it's maybe a mauvey, lilac-y rose something, but all very light and muted, which I liked, and I still like. And yeah, I think I can get a lot more wear out of it. It has pilled a little bit, as you can see. I went with Drops because it was more budget friendly. I'm not sure that I would make that decision again in hindsight. Maybe you would have different luck with it, with the pilling. I think that depends on your gauge as well, and as we know, I have a loose gauge, so that probably has made it pill a bit more. So that's my No Frills sweater, and yeah, I thought I would talk about that and wear something that I've knit. Next, works in progress. I'm working on the ripple bralette. I think I mentioned last time that I might try it with this special wool that I got for my birthday. And I did decide to go for it. Oh, I'm getting tangled up here. It was with this Lana Grossa, if you remember, I talked about it last time. Lana Grossa, and it's called Cashmere 16 Fine. I found the label for it, and it's just a really lovely blend. It has some nylon, I think, in it, and super soft. It's a braided yarn, which makes it a little bit bouncier, I think, and fluffy. It's really nice. And so far, this is how it's coming along, and it's so nice. Now, if you haven't seen the ripple bralette before, it's basically just a bunch of rib, and so it kind of looks like a hat right now. And to be honest, I'm not sure it's going to fit me. I haven't tried it on. It looks like a hat to me still. But they all say that it just stretches and stretches, so I am taking everybody's word for it that it will fit me around my body as a bralette when it's finished. And I have made some modifications. I'm basically doing 2 of the sizes. I'm doing a small, I cast on for the small, and do the small for the waist, or like the ribbing that goes under your rib, like on your rib cage, under your bust. And then for the bust, I'm doing a large. So I'm hoping that will work. I saw somebody else do that. I tend to have, a smaller rib cage area and a bigger bust, so probably TMI, but there we are. We're talking about a bralette. So I have a little bit more to go. I'm going to go a bit longer here. This is for the bust, so I'll go a bit longer, and then I think you're supposed to divide for the straps. And I think the straps can crisscross in the back. I'm not sure what I'll do, if I'll do them straight in the back or if I'll crisscross them to make it maybe more like a racer back bralette. But so far I'm loving it, and I can totally see myself wearing this if it fits. And it's so soft, it's going to be so luxurious against my skin, and I don't think it'll be too hot for the summer even. So that'll be really fun under airy tops. I'm dreaming of summer now. Although it has been really warm here lately, so I'm not complaining. So yeah, that's my ripple bralette. And I saw also there's a ripple top, and now I'm really interested in doing that. So we'll see. We'll see. Next in my works in progress is a very spontaneous cast on of socks for my daughter, Mabel, who is running out of socks. So I've just made up this pattern. It's just my own go-to pattern for socks, which I've done in the past for myself, just a lot smaller, obviously. This is hopefully to fit her 6-month-old feet. She's 5 months just about now. So I'm hoping these will be a little bit bigger. And this is Deep Stash Malabrigo. And I don't know the colorway name. It reminds me of the ocean. It's just really beautiful greens and blues. It's right up her alley, I think, because she has beautiful blue eyes. So I'm really enjoying that. It's on my Chow Goo Twist Minis. And I think this is a 1.5 millimeter needle, which is perfect for my loose gauge, knitting gauge. And I think the fabric is coming out nice and tight, so I'm hoping that will, not that she's gonna wear them out, I mean, she won't even be walking, but I'm hoping they'll wear nicely on her and it'll be the right type of drape and feel for socks for her. So that's that going. It's coming along. It doesn't take very long at all. I've cast on 44 for your information, and just doing a normal slip one, knit one, heel flap, did that, and then my typical garter, 3 stitches on the side of the heel flap there, normal gusset decrease. Everything is pretty ordinary, so just a little rib cuff too, and I'll do my normal decrease at the toe with Kitchener, I think. Although I could do a little cinching at the end because it's such a small sock. We'll see. But yeah, I have more than this, don't worry. It's just in pieces because it's Deep Stash. It's been frogged before and used for other things, and yeah. So I'm happy to use that up actually because it's been a long time, probably over 10 years. So that's it for my works in progress for knitting. I have a lot going on in my mind though for knitting. I have a lot of designs actually popping up, and I'm pretty excited about that. I like to design every once in a while, as you know, and maybe it's just creativity. My husband and I have been bouncing ideas off each other, but I feel like I am inspired by the landscape here, and I'm hoping that my designs can come about. We'll see if I have enough time. But that's something to look forward to, maybe. We'll see. I had to go through all the process of thinking about which yarn to use for the different designs that I want to try. And it's a bit of it's challenging because you don't want to purchase too many different types of yarns and then not be able to use any of them. So you have to kind of do your homework and choose carefully. I also want to try some of Mark's Handspun for some of my designs. So we'll see where it goes. It's very fun. It's really energizing for me to think about designing. Maybe you can tell I'm like buzzing from it. But yeah, watch this space. We'll see what happens. That's it for knitting for me. Now I've been doing some sewing lately, and if you saw my Instagram feed, I had just posted that I had nearly finished a dress for Mabel, which I mentioned last time I was really interested in doing. And here it is. It's mostly complete. I just need to add some snaps to the back, but it's just been washed, which is why it's wrinkled and I haven't ironed it. But I haven't even tried it on her yet. I'm really excited to. I think it's gonna fit. It looks about right compared to her other clothes. And this is the pattern is from Hello Dear Kids, which you can find on Etsy. And it's just an adorable little, I don't know, frock type dress. It has these very cute ruffled sleeves and a gathered skirt, which is way fluffier than she needs it to be. And just a simple snap back here. She calls for buttons, but I, at this time in my life, am not ready to dive into buttonhole making. And someday I will, but right now I'm just gonna go for the simple snap, and it's so much easier on a baby to just do snaps anyway. So we struggle with buttons on her. on her other clothes. So the fabric is an eBay de-stash find, my favorite thing to find, just somebody who is going through their fabric and decided they didn't want it anymore. So I saved it from the landfill, and I'm really enjoying the blue. I think that will work really well with Mabel again because of her eyes, and I love the hints of purple in it, and even a little taste of brown in there. It's kind of like earthy, oceany, sky, spring something. So I really like it. I think it's gonna look really cute on her, and I will post photos hopefully when I'm finished and it's on her. So yeah, that's my, oh yeah, I should tell you the pattern number was R62, and this is a 6 to 12 month, I think it was, the size. And I can show you, actually, I have the pattern here, the printout. So this is what it looks like. I don't want to give it all away, but this is the pattern printed out, and it's really straightforward. I feel like she definitely made it for moms who are busy and in a hurry, because she very clearly labeled each image corresponding with the instructions. So it was like image 1 matches instruction 1, and it was like if I had gotten distracted by Mabel or something, then I could easily find where I was and go to the next step. So that made me get through it a lot faster, I think. So I'd highly recommend her patterns. I'm assuming it's a her. I shouldn't. Their patterns. I recommend their patterns. Hello, dear kids. Next in sewing is, for me, I have for many, many years followed Meg. She's on Instagram as, what is she now? She's, oh, I wrote it down. The Mindful Wardrobe. I should know that. The Mindful Wardrobe it's really cool. She's come up with a guide basically for deciding your wardrobe, and she's very real, down to earth, and helps you kind of think through all of the different factors for how you can come up with a wardrobe that fits you. And this is all a handmade wardrobe, which is even cooler. So I haven't done that myself. I've thought about doing it, but I don't have time right now. But she's very cool. I would definitely check her out. I've followed her for many years, and even when she was back, doing Montessori teaching, and I really admire her as a leader in the sewing community. And I want to make one of her dresses, the Hinterland dress. If you've seen it, you should Google that, or hashtag Hinterland dress. It's really cute, so versatile. There's so many hacks, and I've been eyeing it for so long. So I finally took the plunge, and I got the pattern. So let me show you. This pattern page doesn't show you an image of it. It just shows you some silhouettes, which is cool. It's, just you can see the different variations you can do on the same dress, and that it is suitable for all sizes, which is great. It's size inclusive, and I think I'm going to do a double gauze, which I've seen other people do. A lot of people use linen or like a chambray. It's meant for medium weight fabrics, but I really love the double gauze, how airy it is, and it's also a bit more budget friendly, I found. And that works for me too. Because it's my first time doing the dress, I don't want to splash out on something like linen, because I'm just not sure. I'm not confident enough yet to know that I will do the pattern well. And also I just don't know about my size. So I am not sure if I need to do the large bust adjustment or what. Because I said before, like, I have a small waist and a bigger bust, then I need to somehow accommodate that and make it fit. It's a very forgiving silhouette as far as I can tell. And you can add a tie to the back to cinch it a bit more around the waist if you want to add a little bit more shaping. Otherwise, it's a pretty simple frock. But I'm not sure if I want to do that or how I want to go. So all that to say, I might do a muslin. I might do something to kind of test it out. We'll see what I find on eBay. If I find some good de-stash again and something cheap but maybe ugly, who knows, to test it out. Otherwise, yeah, I might just go for it with the double gauze. And I'm thinking either in red or green, and I will keep you posted. But it's all, the pattern's printed out and I'm ready to go. We'll see when I start that. That's exciting though. I'm excited for that. The last thing for sewing is, I think I mentioned last time, the Marian Doll Make-Along, which is a Waldorf doll make-along that Fran of Wool and Hearted is hosting. And I'm way behind, but I really want to do it because I've always wanted to make one of my children a doll if I ever had children, and I have a girl now and I want to make her a doll. So I've printed it, or I haven't printed it out. I've purchased it, and it should be given to me, I think, on Monday via email. So I'll show you a link or the page on Etsy where you can buy it. She's got a few different doll patterns available in German and English, I think. And I've done the Kula doll, which I'm not sure if that's how you say it. It's C or Kulle or A, I think A. And it's for a baby. It doesn't have many hinged limbs. It doesn't have any hair. It's got a bonnet or a hat. And its body is it has arms, but then it has just like a kind of a fluffy body that's kind of amorphous. And I think that's perfect for Mabel's age. And I'm not sure if she's even going to go for it yet. We'll see, but I'm excited to make it. And Fran mentioned that you don't have to spend a lot to make this doll. And so I'm taking that advice. I'm going with using what I have on hand, and what I've done is hand dyed, plant dyed with avocado again. One of Mabel's onesies from when she was a newborn. She was really tiny, and the little onesies that we have of hers are just so cute, and I wanted some way to remember them. So this is perfect. So I'm going to use this for the body. You can see here it's dyed in avocado. And this onesie I wasn't going to pass on to anyone anyway, because we chopped off the feet because she got longer before she got bigger in her body size. So she grew long but not wide. And so I don't think anybody's going to want that. And so I just I'm feeling free to chop this one up and use it for another project. As you can see, this is a good case in point about dyeing. You want to dye before your baby wears anything, because as you may have known, or as I mentioned before, when you're working with cellulose fibers and you want to mordant them, you can use soya milk as a protein to help the dyes adhere to the cellulose fibers, and it helps the dye to saturate the cellulose a lot more. It has something to stick to, I guess. It needs the protein. Well, I dyed this after Mabel had worn it and had obviously spit up on it milk, and that is a really protein-rich substance, and so you can see it's quite blotchy, and the dye took in certain places more than others. So at first I was wondering, what in the world, why is it not coming out even? We were very careful about how we put it in the pot. Oh, okay, we actually accidentally mordanted this in certain spots and not others. So that's just a heads up if you are dyeing anything, really, but especially baby clothes, to do it before your baby wears it, if you're trying to get a pristine hand-dyed object for them to wear. For me, it doesn't matter, because I can just cut out the back or whatever for the doll body. And I actually have 2 of these dyed, so I should have plenty to play with. Anyway, that's the body for the doll, and then for the face and for the hands. And for the clothing, I'm hoping to use some of the brushed cotton that I got from Green Fibers. And I don't know if I'll dye it or if I'll use some of the patchwork from her quilt or what I'm going to do. I want to incorporate that because it's just so soft and luxurious, and it feels perfect for this project, and it'll kind of tie into her quilt, at least, even if it's not the same color. So that's the Kula doll, and that's all of my sewing, I think, for now. Onto the garden. I've been working so much in the garden lately, and it's been so therapeutic to me, and the weather's been good for it usually these days. It's actually been quite dry, which means we need to water, but it means that I don't have to run out in the rain, and neither does Mark, because he waters or goes out and does things for me, like opens the cold frame, things like that. So it's been really good. I've been doing the floral project, as I mentioned, and just keep getting more flowers to, seeds to plant every month, 5 a month. And right now we're doing the half hardy annuals, and we've already finished the hardy annuals, and most of them are in the garden now. I have a few more to plant out. I've been waiting for the frost to finish, which I think it's getting there, but the hardy annuals should withstand slight frost, just not like days and days of frost necessarily. The half hardy annuals, though, are a little bit more delicate, so I'm really just sowing them out now, and then they'll go into the cold frame for a bit, and then they'll go out when all chance of frost is finished, which is probably the end of May, or like 20th of May is what I'm going for. So it's so inspiring. I am running out of space, but I'm hoping that I can just fit them in here and there, and especially in the veg plot, which is another thing I'm excited about. I've been able to plant up some vegetables, some beetroot and lettuce and cabbage and some onions and chives, all the alliums. And I have more started waiting to go out. We have radish and spinach in the cold frame and spring onions. And I have a lot more to start this month and next month. So I'm really excited about that. So another thing is that we have registered spinningdreams.com, a website that will have these vlog episodes on there, and also some other content that we want to put out there for you. And if you have any ideas for what you'd like to see on there, let us know in the comments. So I think that's it for me now, and it's been really good to chat and catch up with you. Mabel's next door with our lovely neighbor, Katie. So I'm gonna go get her, and I will talk to you next time. Happy making. Bye.